Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday YouTube exclusive edition of Rebooked. And it is Thursday, which means we are talking about TNA wrestling, because right here tonight, not here, but on your own TVs, computers, mobile devices, wherever, it will be TNA Impact, and we are on the road to Rebellion. And this week, stories, they got good. We are starting to see the card form out for Rebellion as well as Unbreakable, live from Las Vegas WrestleMania week. But of course, it's not just me. One of the voices of TNA. I got some heat apparently. The Drama King, Matthew Raywalt. Of course, you also have G Bizzle in the hizzle.
That's me.
And Jake Bizzle in his hizzle, wearing a whiskey tea shizzle, which makes me happy on this day. So, gents, how are you doing today?
Oh, good. I mean, all things considered, but doing all right. And
we're getting through.
We're getting through it one way or another, guys. Oh, you're muted, Jake.
Jake is muted as
is
all
10 is 10:30 in the morning too early for whiskey, or
God no.
How do we feel about it?
I one time got invited to a whiskey podcast, and they record like 5 interviews in a day. And so like mine was at like 8 a.m. and like they sip, like they were like, yeah, pour. So it was like, okay. So I was having whiskey at like 8 a.m. while doing a podcast. It was
nice. Your liver thanks you, or your kidney, or whatever affects you with that.
All of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I mean? But folks, yeah, we are on the road to Rebellion. We also, of course, we do have Unbreakable. And man, after everything we talked about last week, we talked about a potential system firing. We talked about things with Joe Hendy and Elijah, Frankie Kazarian slapping the bass and everything. But we saw a lot of follow-up and some surprises along the way. So with that said, let's get right into it. Let's get into our narrative notes of the week. We saw this week Frankie Kazarian defeated Elijah to begin the show. And we, of course, did have the TNA World Champion on commentary. It's always fun having Joe out there with us. And this is where we first kind of got our first seemingly development heading into Rebellion, because GB, there was a little bit of a snafu and, like you say, shenanigans at the end of that contest.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I like this because, you're still getting that story between Elijah, Joe, and Frankie. There's going to be another wrinkle added to it, which should be pretty fun. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But the big thing coming out of this was that Elijah grabbed Joe's arm and then injured him. Coming out of that, they had a shot with the doctor and all this stuff. But I really like the way that they did it. I like that Elijah, obviously Joe's had enough of Frankie Kazarian. He's super annoyed by him. He's wailing on him. Makes you wonder why Elijah is peeling Joe off of off of Frankie Kazarian, but whatever. But then when he does so, he yanks his arm in such a way that, Joe the whole time's like, whoa, wait a minute. Something's not right. I'm hurting a little bit. I'm feeling something weird here. And then we find out he was injured. And he'll be sidelined. Rotator cuff. Elijah, right. You sneaky, saucy minx.
Yeah, I'm telling you, cahooting.
I mean, well, so
I think they may be cahooting.
There's a wild world where that's possible. Because I mean,
but with that shoulder injury, it's going to be hard to get a standing ovation. With that shoulder injury.
And spoiler, non-spoiler, I have a feeling in the next couple of weeks that might come into play on your television screens.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also a follow-up too, because remember that whole bass playing concert segment from the week prior. Frankie, his shenanigans, he tried to shove Joe into Elijah. They stopped. So we got there, but then this week in the kerfuffle, it's a technical term, they did hit green into each other. So maybe that's sticking in the craw of Elijah a little bit.
What a vocabulary we all have today.
I know, right?
I
love it.
So many things. I think I said pestilence once on our.
You did say pestilence, and I was like,
our WWE episode.
Somebody has a word of the day. Calendar.
You're gonna have to watch our WWE episode to hear the word of the day.
Yeah,
okay, there you go. But I do agree, and I like how I just really love how the story has kind of been shaping up. What could have easily had just been something ignorable and throwaway. No,
just a throwaway.
These three guys are really owning this and making it unique. And it's giving Joe Hendy, a guy who, rose to prominence through, I don't want to say a fun gimmick, but he definitely was a fun gimmick.
Social media, memes, music, all this stuff. And he rode the wave.
And you need some narrative substance for people to care about your champion. We kind of learned that with Cody Rhodes, right? Like he won, and then he was doing a series of like good matches, but it wasn't really doing much. And then comes the Kevin Owens feud, and you're like, oh yeah, here's the meat on the bone. This is that for Joe, and it is, it's been great. And Frankie Kazarian again.
Is
truly the king of TNA.
Yeah.
He is the king of TNA. Just give the man the belt eventually.
Matt, when you're there at the table and there is activity going on around you, do you feel like a wartime correspondent? Like I imagine that's
sometimes
how it feels sitting there amongst the ruffians.
Yeah. So depending on the situation, so like we don't have a like crazy rock solid like announce table like WWE does where people can get thrown across it and everything. It's our equipment there is relatively fragile and stuff too. So like we really do not. But that said, especially during like some either like digital only or dark main events, have a couple of people ended up in or near mine and Tom's laps. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It can get a little chaotic from time to time.
I'm going to give a rule of thumb for anyone who is curious about little production stuff. You see these like these talk boxes here, right? These things are very expensive. And they
look like the old big Nintendo joysticks.
Yes, they are. And then you see how they're wiring all these cables through a hole in the table because you got to wire the cables. Ain't no one going through that table.
No.
Ain't no one going through that table. You need that table to be upright the entire time, or those audio boxes are cooked, man. They are cooked.
And we don't have replacements like 10 of them in a truck somewhere. Like this is what we got.
They're very expensive.
This is what we got.
They're very expensive.
Now I want to see like a ringside reporter reporting during a match like it's a war correspondent, and like they're like,
really want that.
Oh no, there's all this
here live during the world title match. Oh my god, they just suplexed. That was a live suplex, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tina Johns reporting.
Oh, that man just got a chair thrown at him. Oh, it's coming my way.
In a helmet and a flak jacket, like all next to the ring.
I can see Matt doing that. That'd be amazing. Yeah. You should do it for sure.
This will not be the last we see of Frankie Kazarian on that last episode either. But again, we'll get more of that later. We talked about it before. The system firing. That was not to be. It was again kind of teased. Everybody declared that they were in. They were they were dedicated, all of that. Once again, kind of left hanging with Moose though, before Cody Deaner made his way out to interrupt. And so I don't know. Are we do we feel like there really are? Once again, I get a kind of similar question to last week. Are we laying the groundwork for a Moose babyface turn?
Look, I did say last week that everybody needs their players only come to Jesus meeting, and maybe the system had it. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see a face run for Moose.
It would be. He's been such a prominent heel for years now.
Years. Yeah. And it makes me wonder if it's like would it be a blood in, blood out situation with the system?
I feel like
I feel like it would have to. Like you'd have to. They'd have to set some kind of send some kind of message and be like, hey, you cross the family, this is what happens.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, but again, we did not get any direct answers on that one because Cody Deaner did come out and his Man of the People promo and everything like that, which sets up a match for this week, which we will preview at the end of the show. This gimmick from Cody, I'm not going to say it too long. This gimmick from Cody Deaner that he started last year after his whole thing with the design ended. It's a strange one but it's very interesting. And it's so pro wrestling.
Yeah, it really
Of
is.
like,
Let the
I don't make
people
any decisions.
decide.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
let the audience decide everything for me. It's such an easy babyface thing, though.
It really
Yeah.
is. And it's
'Cause
also
usually-
a great heel folly as well. I let you decide everything for me. You
Sure, yeah,
ruined me.
that's
Yeah.
yep. You could always fall back on flipping that.
100%.
So we also did see some knockouts action, and I believe the result was the opposite. I believe Tessa Blanchard, Jason Jane,
Democracy
and Jasmine
Diener.
Nix
That's what he needs to
defeated.
go as.
Oh,
Sorry.
Masha
they
Slamovich.
defeated. Sorry.
Yes, because that is what allowed Tessa Blanchard to get another pinfall victory over the Knockouts World Champion, which ultimately at the end of this week, or at the end of that week, I should say, has made it official. Tessa Blanchard versus Masha Slamovich will be happening at Rebellion in LA. Fellas, what are we thinking of Masha's chances? Two tag losses to Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard controversial, but also on a roll. What do we think of Masha's chances at Rebellion?
I think that I'm still sticking to my same thing from before, that I would like to see Tessa lose this and then kind of like go on a bit of a redemption arc, because she really has just come back and she's just the same Tessa Blanchard that she was when she left, right? Obviously, so much has happened since then, but the actual character is exactly the same. It's kind of like what we're seeing with Charlotte over on WWE TV, with, you know, like she the queen just returned the exact same way, nothing really changed. So I think it would be a better story if we see Tessa actually struggle and actually like try and get back to that point, realize that maybe she is not the kingfish anymore, and that, you know, time has kind of like moved past her. That would be a cool thing, because I think Masha has been taking like way too many L's, and I would very much like to see Masha have an actual feud that she could sink her teeth into, because since then she's really just been fighting NXT top talent for the title, and that's all well and good, and it's been fun. But this is a chance for a real good TNA focused feud with two TNA wrestlers. You know, that's my hope.
For sure.
Jake?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Tessa win via tomfoolery.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see
Sure.
that. I could even see someone from NXT maybe getting involved and helping Tessa win the title to get, you know, the same old quid pro quo type thing of, you know, maybe there's someone that she could bring in that no one's thinking about. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, you know, ways that, and then, you know, Tessa could go on like the biggest heel run you've ever seen in TNA as a just blowhard champion. I told you so. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, GB. Like, I think ultimately Masha's going to come away winning this thing, but I don't know if Tessa will learn anything from the experience. You know,
that also
I don't
be
know.
a
We'll
cool
see.
Character
I
run.
could be wrong. She may not learn anything from it. May push her the complete opposite direction. Who knows?
Yeah,
We will
that's
see.
fair.
But
That's
it
fair.
goes down at Rebellion. We know that officially as of now. Moving right along, we got some big stuff to get to, so we're gonna go through NXT's Lash Legend Jakara Jackson showed up again, defeated former Knockouts Tag Team Champion Spitfire. Clearly, the Knockouts tag ranks between Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley and Spitfire and the Elegance brand, and now Jakara and Legend. All this, we're building 4 teams. I don't think I'm throwing tea in the wind here that it looks like we're going to some kind of 4-way matchup. NXT, TNA tag titles on the line. We'll wait till it's official though. Meanwhile, also Ali and Santana, that story continues to get deeper. We're going to talk about more of that, I think, next week. We're going to get in the nitty gritty, but this continues to be one of the best stories in TNA. He is really getting personal with Mike Santana. He's even getting his friends off the wagon. People Mike Santana have helped get like sober. They're really playing into that personal story that Santana went through in his real life, and how just twisted Ali is. And then of course we see a little bit.
I have a new 24/7 champion this week. It's Derek. Derek's just looking for a job. He just needed some work, and Santana came through for him. Like, that's a bro.
That's a guy.
That's
yeah.
a bro.
Yeah.
And even you know what? Good on Santino for finding a place for him.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
a lot of employers will do that these days.
that is very true. Unfortunately for Derek, Ali is a cold and calculating bastard, and kind of found his way towards that. Meanwhile, the Hardys continue to call out the Nemets ahead of that match, which we already know is official for Rebellion. And we saw a little hint of broken Matt Hardy. Could we see some broken universe come into this play before Rebellion between the Hardys and the Nemesis? I wouldn't mind another visit to the compound.
Yeah.
I hope for his sake it doesn't require him to get more broken. Because that he did point that. I mean, he pointed that out, that the scar on his nose, you know, this I'm still a little broken. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's an interesting thing of like the more he's beaten, the more broken he becomes.
Yeah,
I think that would be pretty cool.
I was saying last week on our show that I like this more real, more like the heavier version that we're getting here, the realistic version of Matt Hardy. But I will say that the way that he let the broken aspect, like he did the whole promo is just normal Matt Hardy saying his stuff, blah, blah, blah. But then out of nowhere, the moment he started to talk about being broken, you heard the accents start to come out, the characters start to come out, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Is this like, is this his way of like, he's got to let the broken one come out in order for him to do what he really needs to do? I think that would be super
like
compelling.
His demon.
Like his demon Balor, you know?
Yeah.
Not something he leans on all the time, but when broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero need to come out, you know, they come out. And exactly, I think that would be a really hype moment, because if there's one thing I'm pulling away from the Hardys in their TNA run right now, they're not just going through the hits, but they're also like really trying to tell fun stories still. So, hey, let's see where this goes. I'm in.
Very true. After all that said and done, our primary topics of discussion, we kind of teased it last week. I did, at least anyway, talking about that I should say now defunct Digital Media Championship.
That's right.
Because Santino, our director of authority, did determine that, and Jake, maybe we can ask your friend about this. Legally speaking, you can't get championships in divorce from PCO. So that was not valid. And all this carrying on that Delander.
He doesn't really do estate law or anything. Okay. So I don't know. I can maybe pose the question to him. Well, I don't think a title is like sexually transferable. So I don't think it's not like an STD.
Not normally. I mean, you can have sex with a title on, but that's a different scenario.
That's a different thing.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, so Santino had enough of this. This title had been besmirched by Steph Delander, Manswarner. It was all tomfoolery. So it's gone. It's sayonara. It's out of there. And so in its place, TNA is now getting its very own international championship.
Whoa.
Yes, that exists in another company, but it is also a name of a title that's been used in promotions around the world.
So
that said, though,
no problem.
We'll see. People will be mad about it.
It's the internet. People will be totally level-headed, right? They won't find any reason to complain.
Well, what I thought was cool, and then I'll get to kind of our question on this topic, is that Unbreakable, the event that's happening in Vegas, is happening right around, I believe, the 20th anniversary of that incredible Unbreakable triple threat between Daniels, Joe, and AJ Styles that kind of put TNA on the map. And so in that vein, the qualifying matches to get this title are all going to be triple threats. And then the title match itself at Unbreakable will be a triple threat.
Love it.
And so we did lay out the qualifiers, and there will be 3 matches. And those will be Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, and Steve Macklin in one 3-way match. Zach Wentz, JDC, and Eric Young in another. And AJ Francis and the aforementioned Manswarner and his rival, Sami Callihan, who insisted. It was originally, I believe, supposed to be a different match, but Callihan insisted on being in the match with Manswarner. So there's no way that'll go off the rails. And you know what I mean? And so the question posed here, given those, 9 players involved, Gentlemen, who do you think ends up in the final three-way match in Vegas for the first ever international championship? GB?
I mean, let's just look at these matches real fast. So I've prepared all of them here. It's going to look a little scuffed, so apologies. But here's your first one, right? So you got Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, Steve Macklin, right? And now I'm thinking in my head, what are you trying to like do here? Who are going to be like the guys that kind of like can give you the match? Because see, here's the thing: do they want the match that AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe did? If they did that, then I think Ace Austin goes through in this one, right? But I also think that Steve Macklin, or as I like to now say, Steve Macklin, has a legitimate pathway, and he's also kind of been teetering around for a while. So it'd be nice to see him do something here. So I'm going to say Ace Austin, but my heart says Steve Macklin. That's number one. That's where I'm going for. Jake, what about you?
I agree with Macklin. I mean, I think that would be kind of interesting. I mean, we got Eddie Edwards in there. I feel like they're going to be going after each other a lot. I could see Ace squeaking through because of that, since Macklin and Edwards have such a history together. But I also would love to see Macklin end up in the finals of this thing. I think that'd be great for him. I think he's due for some spotlight. I think I really want to see Steve Macklin get in there.
Yeah. Now this one though is anyone's ball game. Honestly, I can't tell. I don't know.
This one is a 3-sided coin flip for me. I mean, like oh man, it's so tough. Like,
see, I think Eric Young. Only because he is, you're going to need in that three-way matchup, you're just going to need someone who's just damn good. And Eric Young is damn good. So I think he's like, I would give it to him. I mean,
all these guys are damn good.
No, they're damn good. They are. They're all damn good. It's just that Eric Young's like such a fucking seasoned veteran, man. The dude, I mean, just watching an Eric Young match is a treat. So I don't know. I'm saying Eric Young, but I could be wrong.
Plus, I kind of feel like, given the story that we've seen with the system, I don't think anyone from the system makes it. I think that could further splinter the group.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something that could really cause some more problems. So that's another reason that I am kind of leaning.
But let me tell you, if it's Ace Austin and Zachary Wentz as the first two, that's going to be a 5-star classic.
I mean, again, you want the OG Unbreakable. That's a good start.
It's a good start. But let's go to the third one, because I don't know what the hell happens here.
I mean, yes, you do. Mance Warner and Sami Callihan are just going to try to rip each other's eyeballs out.
So does that mean AJ Francis is going to end up in this Unbreakable matchup? Like, oh,
let me tell you,
this
is one I'm not upset with any of these three winning. I'm happy with any of these three making it. I think it'll be Mance just because of the story of he needs to get a little bit closer. They had the digital media title. He's got to get one step closer, I think, to being able to win it. So that's why I think story-wise he'll win. But man, I'll love me some AJ Francis. I do love me some AJ. He's always so entertaining in the ring, on the mic. And also, like, I follow him on Twitter and he just seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
So I do just like AJ Francis as a person too. So
yeah.
But man, Sami Callihan, they're gonna, this in particular, I think is going to be a really fun match. This one could be real brutal, heavy hitting. I think that could be a lot of fun. But I think story-wise, I think Mance is probably the one who's going.
Another wrinkle here to think about too, though. One thing, so tonight that match will be going down on Impact Thursday, the day this releases. It'll be the AJ, Mance, and Sami. So we'll find out that first competitor. But then the other two matches are happening at Unbreakable the same night as the final. So two of the competitors in that matchup are going to have to fight twice in one night.
That's crazy.
So whoever wins that first one with AJ and them, they kind of have a little bit of a tactical advantage.
They do. You have a bye. You essentially get a bye.
You get to chill.
And who would benefit the most from that? AJ Francis. Oh, my new international champion king. He's coming home. It's happening, baby. AJ Francis is winning gold. I'm convinced.
Well, I will say this before we move on to our last topic. And fellas, seen the title.
Oh, you saw the title?
Oh, it's a good looking title.
It's pretty tight.
Okay. I'm
Fantastic.
excited. I'm
Pretty tight.
excited.
Fantastic.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I imagine we're saving the reveal until Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I believe. I don't even know if we'll see it in those first two matches. I imagine they probably won't even bring it out on a stool or pedestal or whatever until the main event, probably at ringside, etc.
If you can compare it to a belt, the design in anything that fans should look out for, or you want to give away too much?
It's kind of no. I don't want to give away too much. It's got its own thing. It lives up to the international title, that flair. So you'll see a lot of that kind of representation. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. Excited.
But moving on, the kind of
it's just a clip art world. It's just a clip art globe that's on it.
Yeah, it's the Encarta Encyclopedia logo.
Yeah, I love that.
Encarta 97. The headline of the week, I would say, the latest NXT crossover and potentially one of the biggest, really, thus far in this partnership. All ego Ethan Page back in the Impact Zone, the former longest reigning TNA Tag Team Champion of all time, formerly with Josh Alexander of the North, showed back up, and he's just as smarmy as always. And fellas, he had quite an announcement to make. I mentioned Frankie Kazarian earlier. Yeah, he was out here. Ethan Page interrupted him, so Frankie did not have a great
shot. Yeah.
Yep. So, but Ethan Page had a hell of an announcement for us, GB.
Yeah, it turns out he is going to be challenging Joe Hendy for the title at Rebellion, which is going to be very exciting. But the thing is, it's made it now into a triple threat. I'm understanding that, right?
Yeah. Because so I think what happened, it happened after the show. So, because technically Frankie came out and called his shot because he's Frankie and he's awesome and he's smarmy. He saw the injury to Joe and he said, all right. But of course, if you listen to the promo, it's great. He's such just a black and white heel. I love it because he lies to your face, which is like, look, I'm going to call my shot straight up, man to man. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sneak around after he sees Joe get injured. I'll face you at Rebellion and everything. And so, so Ethan Page comes in here and swoops in and on TV claimed that he signed the match for himself, him and Joe, but Santino, after the fact, breaking news live on socials and digital, said both men have a claim, so it will now be a triple threat match. Asterisk, if Joe Hendy is able to make
he's able to compete
for Rebellion. Yeah. So that's the big question mark. So my question to you is twofold. One, Joe Hendy make it to Rebellion? Do we see a vacated title? Do we see a change? And then two, should this match happen, who walks out? Whose moment is this?
Joe Hendy is going to be in that match regardless.
Yeah.
Joe is not going to let himself be taken out of that. Because the one person who believes in Joe Hendy more than anyone else is Joe Hendy. And he's not going anywhere. He's going to get in that ring. He's going to fight his ass off, and he'll learn to give a standing ovation with his other shoulder. That's you know, he's going to be in it regardless. Now, with him, you know, having to fight with literally perhaps an arm tied around his back, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, especially now with Ethan Page coming in here, who came in dressed like a substitute teacher who's a little too flirty with his co-eds. And see, look at that. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Man, I want to say, like, look, my heart of hearts wants to say that I believe in Joe Hendy. It's hard to do that when the man's injured and you have to deal with two great wrestlers, one of whom is a TNA legend, at full health. You got to deal with both of them. And, the same old, you don't have to be pinned to lose it.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know.
Very true.
Now, look, narratively, I'm just going to say this. It would be cool to see Joe lose because we'll see it should be Frankie and it would be awesome. But here's the thing. Unlike my dear friend from Alabama, I will never.
You don't believe in Joe Hendy?
Stop believing in Joe Hendy. Now he's going to walk out, and you know what? He's going to hit the damn standing ovation with the injured arm. Why? Because he's Joe Hendy, and we believe. Okay, so I think I think it's just going to be another great test for Joe Hendy and keeps the story.
He gets hyped up, forgets about the shoulder injury, tries to go up for one, hurts it worse.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. His
instinct kicks in.
But what I do want to see happen here is, because there's a great story with Ethan Page right now on NXT. He was the NXT champion. He's been, trying to find his way. Lots of stuff happening over there. But I do like the idea of Joe Hendy pinning Ethan Page and then Frankie Kazarian just being like, never pinned me, and then you keep this going, because I want this to keep going. I want Frankie and Joe to keep going, and I want Frankie to win the title, because I think that is the best direction for the championship to go in. And he's just so good. So that's my hope and desire, but it's not going to happen at Rebellion.
And we have to have some kind of payoff with Elijah as well. I know that we're not done with whatever's happening.
Exactly.
Sure.
Something's got to happen there too. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Let's focus on tonight, because the night this comes out, hopefully you're watching on Thursday. TNA Impact will be going live tonight. And looking ahead at some of the contests we got, we already talked about it. The TNA International Championship Tournament. The first match happens. AJ Francis, Mance Warner, and Sami Callihan. But not only that, two other competitors in that tournament, Steve Macklin and Eddie Edwards, go mano a mano, as well as we talked about Zachary Wentz and JDC in two of those three ways. They're going to have a Rascals and System tag team contest. Ryan Nemeth and Leon Slater continue that feud. We already saw Nick Nemeth and Leon Slater wrestle, had a banger. Yeah. Ryan wants to be like his big brother and hopefully beat Leon Slater. And Mustafa Ali continues his campaign, takes on Ace Austin one-on-one rematch from Under Siege last year, which was a banger. So we'll see where Mike Santana rears his head in that one. He's not going to let Ali get away with what he did to Derek. So all that, as they say, all that and more tonight live on TNA Impact. So for all of that, please join us, folks. And thank you for joining us here. And if you like joining us here, let us know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps us out more than you know. We appreciate you more than you know. And so make sure you watch us tomorrow as well on our WWE episode. So for the fellas, for GB, for Jake, I am the Drama King. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.